Morning. This is take two. Got a phone call from my son, or not a phone call, actually, a Facebook message video thing. Because Verizon apparently has crashed today. Millions are without phones. Interesting thing. Anyhow, this is it happened in history today. Hope you like them. Let's get going so we don't take a whole lot of time. 1954, the U.S. Nautilus, the world's first nuclear sub, is commissioned. 1955, James Dean dies in a car accident. 1776, in a letter to his nephew, George Washington writes on September 30th, 1776, of his displeasure with his undisciplined conduct and poor battlefield performance of the American militia. Washington blamed the Patriot reliance on militia as a chief root of his problem and the devastating loss of Long Island and Manhattan to the British. And of course, they didn't have a regular army at that time, so he didn't have much choice. In 1868, the first volume of Little Women is published. In 1928, Elie Wiesel, Holocaust survivor and best-selling author, is born. In 2005, Michael Eisner resigns as Disney CEO. In Oxford, Mississippi, James H. Meredith, an African-American student, is escorted onto the University of Mississippi campus by the U.S. Marshals, setting off a deadly riot. 2 men were killed before the violence was quelled by more than 3,000 federal soldiers. The next day, Meredith was successfully enrolled and began to attend classes amid continuing disruptions. This is in 1962. In 1949, an interesting thing, you might want to look this one up and read more about it, or what there. I think there's a couple of videos, but here we go again. In 1949, after 15 months and more than 250 flights, the Berlin Lift, as it came to be known, officially comes to an end. The airlift was one of the greatest logical feats in modern history and one of the crucial events of the Cold War. In June 1948, the Soviet Union suddenly blocked all ground traffic to West Berlin, which was located entirely within the Russian zone of the occupied Germany. It was an obvious effort to force the United States, Great Britain, and France, and other occupying powers in Germany to accept Soviets' demands concerning the post-war fate of Germany. As a result of this blockade, the people of West Berlin were left without food, clothing, and medical supplies. The logistics and the things that they pulled off to get this done was absolutely amazing. If you have time and wish, look it up. The Berlin Lift of 1948. 48? Yeah, no, 49. Okay, we continue. In 1822, Joseph Marin Hernandez becomes the first Hispanic elected to Congress. In Middle East history, in 1918, Lawrence of Arabia leads liberation forces into Damascus. Yes, it wasn't just a movie, it was based on real-life happenings. In sports, 1927, Babe Ruth hits the 60th homer of the 1927 season. In 1947, World Series broadcasts on TV for the first time, bringing millions the joy of the sport. In U.S. presidents, 1918, President Woodrow Wilson speaks in favor of female suffrage. And women's history, in 1989, Wyoming legislatures write the first state constitution to grant women's the vote right. They almost had to, because I think, if I remember correctly, women outdid men 2-1 or something like that. It was crazy. And finally, in World War II, 1938, Munich Pact is signed. Hope you like these. If you do, like, follow, share, comment, ask questions, make fun of, help a guy out. I'll see you tomorrow.